Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for holding this hearing. I think this is an important conversation to have as we consider what should look like going forward, how we can improve the program to ensure that those who really need assistance can continue to receive that. And maybe I'll start by just saying I think most people, at least most people in my district, I can tell you for a fact, really are proud to be in a country where there is a safety net, where people who really need help, maybe it's temporary, maybe they are disabled, whatever it may be, where they literally need help. American taxpayers are willing to have their dollars go to assist people who really need the help. And I think most people up here would say the same thing. And then secondly, we want to ensure that every American does have access to health care and hopefully can have access to good health care and affordable health care. But I can tell you what drives some of my constituents nuts, and that is if dollars are going to individuals who are here illegally and threatens dollars that should be going, threatens the program that is here for Americans. Every dollar going to someone who is here illegally means that the dollar taken potentially from an American. And then secondly, they want people to do their part as well. And if there are individuals who are not doing their part, who could be working and aren't, they're not in much mood to continue to provide that assistance to people who aren't doing their part. And to Dr. Gordon's part, he portrayed this as, or Mr. Gordon portrayed this as undue hardship on individuals who really are trying to make ends meet. And that's just not true, because it does not affect people who already have a job, the work requirements. And so you mentioned 90% are working. This doesn't affect those. What we're trying to do is ensure that everyone who is receiving dollars from taxpayers is doing what they can to ensure that they're doing their part. There's a survey that came out that I thought was really interesting recently. And this, again, this is not talking about every recipient of Medicaid, in fact, just a small percentage, but an American Time Use survey found that childless, able-bodied Medicaid recipients who do not work spend an average of 4.2 hours per day playing video games and watching TV. I'm going to repeat that. Again, this isn't talking about people. I know there are a lot of people on Medicaid who need that assistance, who are working hard to try to make ends meet. But this is a survey based on census data, found that childless, able-bodied Medicaid recipients who do not work spend an average of 4.2 hours per day playing video games and watching TV. So maybe let Mr. Staley answer that. I mean, do you think that's an unreasonable expectation to have Medicaid recipients in that situation spend less time playing video games or watching TV? Is that cruel? Is that unrealistic?
Yeah, ultimately, I think that that's exactly why the work requirement in the One Big Beautiful bill is generous. Because if you have 126 hours to game in a month, I think you can find a few hours to work, train, or volunteer. And ultimately, the goal there is, of course, that you become independent and you move out of dependency and free up those resources that are intended for the truly needy.
Mr. Dickerson, your organization put out a report recently estimating that over $1.1 trillion of Medicaid dollars were misspent over the past decade. That's a lot of health care coverage for a lot of individuals, if that's true. Can you talk a little bit more about that? I know that includes improper payments and essentially how we can get to reducing that.
Yeah, that's right. We co-authored that with Brian, actually. But over the last 10 years, they only actually enforced actual audits of states twice, right? During the Biden administration and the Obama administration, they didn't actually confirm eligibility and enforce those audits. So, but in the 2 years that they actually did full audits, the improper payment rates were enormous, really twice what the official reporting was in the other years. And so if you extrapolate what we actually measured.
I'm sorry, I'm out of time. Maybe you could submit an answer to that question, but I'm gonna just ask this. Do you think it would be fair to the American taxpayer if we don't do everything that we can to root out that kind of waste in the system?
Absolutely not.
Like I just don't think it's fair to the American taxpayer. Do you agree with that?
Enforce the program, yeah.
Good. Yeah. Thank you.